everybody, welcome back. I'm going to be starting a new thing. I'm pretty much kind of like Faith Casher's travel bug review. I'm going to be doing a segment similar, but it's going to be my travel bugs. So I think I'm going to call it What's Up With My Travel Bugs, because that's exactly the information that I'm giving you guys. So anyways, I have 12 travel bugs. You guys have seen quite a few of them throughout my videos. The first 3 are in my collection, and you guys have discovered it in my thanks to you guys video. So the first one is my 11-11-11 multi-event coin, and this one's in my collection. The second one is my Manitoba Geocaching Association's 5th anniversary coin. So there's that one. And the third one in my collection is my 12-12-12 coin. So those are the 3 that are in my collection. So they don't travel around. I think I've said this before. Actually, I know I've said it before. But when I purchase coins, I buy them in pairs. So I always have 2, so that I have one in my collection that I get to enjoy, and then one that I can send out to the world for other people to enjoy. So that's why I have multiples. So the first trackable that I'm going to talk about is called Georgia's Chew Toy. Georgia is my 8 or 9-year-old miniature pincher. She's like our child. She's the closest thing we have right now. So I wanted to send out a trackable for her. And so she's allergic to a lot of things. She can't have beef, she can't have chicken, she can't have rice, she can't have wheat. So we're kind of limited. So it's kind of lucky that we are hunters, and so we have access to game meat because she can have venison. So anyways, she can't chew beef bones, but what we have gotten her is a deer antler. And so if you were to buy this at the pet store, it costs literally an arm and a leg. Like this piece here in Canada is like $20. So for something that's free when you get a deer, I mean, yeah. So anyways, we had originally given her the whole tine, and she's just a little dog. You've probably seen her in previous videos. But it was way too big for her. So we cut all of the tines off, and one of them I drilled a hole in, and I sent it out as Georgia's Chew Toy. And it had a couple little gnaw marks on it like this one does. This one's her actual one, so I'll just give that back to her. Anyways, so that one I released in January of 2012. It was picked up in February, and it headed out to BC, where it got placed in a travel bug hotel, and I guess all of the bugs went missing because I've had to mark it missing because it's not in there. So it only got to travel about 4,013 kilometers. So I'm going to give it a while, and then maybe I'll re-release the tracking number on another one. So the next travel bug that I'm going to talk about is me. So what I eventually want to do is get a tattoo with my travel bug on it. However, certain people in my life feel that that's completely wrong. So for events and whatnot, I'm actually thinking about ordering custom temporary tattoos, and that way I can stick it on my arm, because normally I just end up writing it on my arm in pen or permanent marker, and that way people can discover me. Not that I've been to that many events, but I'd like to go. So what I do now is I have it just on my key ring. So I don't go anywhere without my keys because I drive. And then I also have my pen on it. So this is my Trekker Space Pen. It's the best pen ever. So I have that on there. And then I've also got my travel bug. And so it's always on me, and that's how I'm tracking. So I started collecting kilometers January of 2012, and so far I have accumulated 4,308 kilometers. So anytime I go to a geocache, I log myself as having visited it. The next one is the twin to my 111111 coin. So that one has, it was released January of 2012, and it currently, up to date today, has accumulated 10,619 kilometers. And so it started out here in Manitoba, it headed over to BC where it got picked up, and it went over to Germany. And the people that took it over to Germany were awesome. They had it visit a lot of caches, and it actually ended up visiting the 12-12-12 event over there. And so I thought it was kind of cool that my 11-11-11 coin went to a 12-12-12 event. So after Germany, it headed over to Austria. So right now it is sitting in a cache in Salzburg, Austria. I hope I said that right. The next one is the Manitoba Geocaching Association one. And it was also released in January of 2012. And it got picked up and moved around a little bit, but the people that picked it up are kind of hoarding it. They've had it for quite a while, and despite the fact that I have emailed them, they tend to have a lot of excuses as to why they haven't given it to one of their friends or placed it in a cache that they found. So I'm really hoping they haven't lost it, and I'm going to give it a little bit more time before, and maybe, you know, waiting for the weather to get a little bit nicer before I message them again. But it has 1,379 kilometers on it. The next one is called Home Team Pride. And our home team for hockey, because we're Canadians, are the Winnipeg Jets. And so I have the letter H keychain, and I attached it to a travel bug, and I sent it out into the world. And that one was released in February of 2012, so just a year ago. So it started out here in Manitoba, went down to North Dakota, over to Washington, then to Oregon, back to Washington, back to Oregon, back to Washington, back to Oregon, back to Washington, and now it's hanging out down in Florida. So that one has accumulated 6,988 kilometers. So I think it's kind of cute that they keep taking it back and forth. They must be traveling for work or something, or have family, but they kept going back and forth between Washington and Oregon. But since it's in Florida, I'm thinking they might have found a new home and might move on from there. The next one is Aggravating Alfred, and I haven't uploaded the video yet, but I have gotten rid of him. I finally got rid of him. I'm so happy. I placed him in a cache the other day, and I'm going to work on that video, and I'll probably have that one up next week. I don't want to put up two in the same week because, well, I don't make that many videos anymore. So anyways, Aggravating Alfred, he was released, kind of, December of 2012. And he traveled around with me for a little while, and now has finally been placed in a cache, and hopefully we'll move around from there. And so he's accumulated 58 kilometers. Not that much, but it's a start. So hopefully, Edward, he's going to make his way down to you sooner or later. My 12-12-12 coin, it's still in my jacket pocket. I didn't want to put both of the trackables in the same cache, however, I guess I could have. But that one doesn't really have a mission other than to just travel around, so I figure I can put him in any area of the city. But so far, it's accumulated 28 kilometers. So I'm going to get that one out in the next cache that it fits in, and luckily it's a smallish item, so I should have more availability into caches that I can place it in. So the next one is my vehicle travel bug, and so that is the one that is stuck on the back of my vehicle, and so it's called Renegade because I drive a Jeep Liberty Renegade. So since I stuck that on my vehicle on April of 2012, it has accumulated 3,340 kilometers. So, and then the last one is Vroom Vroom to Sweden, and this one is the one that I entered in MN Geocaching's travel bug contest to see which one could travel the furthest. And so its goal is to go over and visit Frederick, the Geo-Swede. And so far, it was released in August of 2012. It started in Minnesota because we had to mail them to MN Geocaching to start the contest there. So it started in Minnesota and then went to Wisconsin, went back to Minnesota and back to Wisconsin and back to Minnesota and back to Wisconsin and then over to Iowa, Nebraska, and now Team Dennis has it in Colorado. So hopefully it will get rid of its Minnesota, Wisconsin habits there and move on from there. So those are my 12 geocaching trackables. And so I'm probably going to be doing this segment, I'll say once every 2 months, because my travel bugs don't travel around too much. So I'm going to say once every 2 months, but if I notice that they're really moving, then I'll do once a month to update. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.